Come on. Is this working? Awesome. So, my name is Fred. Super happy to be here. Frédéric Harper. I'm a senior developer relations manager at TinyMCE. And as my host mentioned, I'm here to talk about how to supercharge your Moodle course design with TinyMCE premium tools. So I want to apologize first. I caught a cold, or I think it was even the flu last week. I'm not contagious anymore, but I still have lingering issues. I'm coughing. I'm on the verge of losing my voice, so hopefully I'm going to be able to give that talk for the next hour, but we'll see how it goes. So I may just turn around once in a while and cough. But you have the chance to have my beautiful, sexy voice today, which I don't always have. So at least there is something good for you here. During the talk, feel free to take pictures, take videos, pictures of my beautiful face, pictures of my beautiful slides. Feel free to share things that I mentioned, things that you agree, things that you disagree. On Twitter, yes, I still call that Twitter. I won't call that X. On Twitter, on LinkedIn, whatever. I'm F. Harper on Twitter, and I'm also on LinkedIn everywhere else. Please feel free to be active on social media, but still try to listen to my presentation. So you're going to be stuck an hour with me. Soon we're going to close the door, we're going to lock the door, and you're going to be stuck at the end until the end of the talk. No, that's not true. That's not true. I won't do that. So we're going to run together during that 1 hour. And not for real. Look at me. I'm not a runner. But I have so many things I want to share with you today. I want to talk to you about all the premium features that are available in Moodle. So right now, if you use Moodle, which I guess is the case, you're here right now, you are using TinyMCE, depending on the version of Moodle you're using. And this is, TinyMCE is your rich text editor. And you have the core features, which works for you, but some people may find some stuff interesting about like premium feature that will help you creating your course even faster, do things a little more easier if you're a little bit like me and a little bit lazy, or just like uncover new functionality that could be useful for you. And now there is Brett, super annoying, taking picture. Do you want to take a good one? For those of you that are old enough, like, do you have the Sears catalog?
Yes. Working.
Awesome. Great picture. So, as I said, today I'm going to talk about premium features only, and we're going to get started. But let me start with a quote. Actually, let me switch mic. So, behold the transformative power of TinyMCE Premium, your gateway to crafting breathtakingly high quality, impeccably accessible, and irresistibly captivating content that will dazzle audiences and elevate your courses to legendary status. Oh, yeah, Frédéric Harper said that. Yes, I'm quoting myself. So this is what we're going to do today together. But first things first, if you want to get into premium plugin on Moodle, so I'm going to have a lot of demos today. I have a local Moodle instance that I run on Docker for people that are developers or a little more technical, so I run a local instance here. And what I want to do as a site administrator, I go to site administration. I'm going to go to plugins here. I'm going to scroll down and down and down and down, and I'm going to go to TinyMCE editor. And if I scroll down and down and down, at some point I'm going to have an API key. And if you want to have access to the premium feature, those are premium features. So those are features that we charge for. So you need to create an account on TinyMCE, which you do not need right now if you're using Moodle. But you need to create an account, and there's a free trial. But after that, you need to get the API key, put it in Moodle, and that's going to give you that menu here when you're going to be able to enable or disable all those plugins. So when I say we're going to run together today, it's because I want to talk to you about more than 15 plugins. Some of them, yeah, someone is like, you cannot do that. They're laughing and like, hey, good luck, man, especially with your voice. But I want to talk to you about all those plugins so you can be the one who decides what plugins make sense for me. So I will demo some plugins. Some of them you will say like, no, Fred, not for me, not helpful, and that's fine. We have plugins for all tastes and everything you want to do within TinyMCE in Moodle. So the first step is to activate the premium plugin. Once I have that, you're going to see that my TinyMCE will change a little bit. We'll have a little more options. So let me go back to the slide. I want to do something a little more interactive, also to give me a break of like speaking for a full hour. So what I'm gonna try to do is I have one image that represents each features that I'm gonna talk about today. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to try to guess what is the plugin related to the image. And if you're successful, or let's say close enough, because some are a little bit tricky, you may have seen her t-shirts. This is her mascot. Unfortunately, I don't wear one. We don't have right now American super fat size for me, so I'm just wearing my black t-shirt. But we have that amazing mascot, which weirdly doesn't have a name yet. So we need to fix that at some point. But right now, that mascot doesn't have a name. But if you answer closely enough the feature that I'm going to talk about related to the image in my slide, come talk to me maybe tomorrow at the booth. I'm going to give you a free t-shirt. You won't even have to sign up to the newsletter. They're a great t-shirt, great quality. So it's just to make this a little more interactive. So the first one, do you have a guess about the feature? Accessibility. So the gentleman was speaking French before. Yeah, French Québécois, which is my first language. So actually, I can do the rest of the talking French. Do you want? Yeah, some people are like, yes, they're like, fuck off, no. So, yeah, the first one is, you were right, so you get a t-shirt. It's the accessibility checker. So it's one of the features that I enjoy very much in the premium plugin that we have. So if I go here in my, let me this a little bit bigger, in my Fred TinyMCE Super Duper course, yes. Now, that was a good course name, no? So I go into accessibility checker, it's just a page. If I go into settings to try to modify that page, I'm gonna make this full screen, and it's just some content that look good at first, but that is not accessible. And what I have with that plugin is I have that little guy that say like, stop, your content is not accessible. So you click on it, and without having a lot of knowledge about accessibility, you're gonna have that little guy, that premium feature, who's gonna tell you like, hey, there is accessibility issues within your content. The first one is like, you know what? At the top, you have introduction and bold. Seems like it should be a header. And you can disagree with this one, but actually that's true. So here, either I'm gonna be able to ignore that or fix it. And maybe the plugin will be able to fix it for me, which in that case it can. So it's gonna say like, hey, what header should it be? Maybe it should be header 1. That is the case. I'm gonna click repair, and voila, that will fix my content. So now I have, I don't have 8 issues anymore. I only have 7 issues. And I can go to the next issues where like, hey, this seems to be a list. It's not a list. You should make a list out of it. So this one, it cannot repair for me, but I understand what it is. If I'm not sure why it's a problem, I can click more info. That's gonna bring me to the documentation, TinyMCE documentation. That's gonna explain to me what is the problem and why should I care about that. So the good thing is that accessibility is important. You don't have to know everything. That plugin, that feature will help you to make it happen. So here, what I can do, I will myself create a bullet list, and I should fix the issue. I need some music while I fix things, no? What do you think about that? If I go back here, I'm back to 6 error. So I won't talk more about accessibility, but if you're curious about why it's important to have accessible content, come tomorrow. Yes, that's promotional for my next talk. I have another talk tomorrow, but it's only 30 minutes, so if you suffer for 1 hour with me, bear with me, tomorrow is gonna be only 30 minutes. It's the, I think it's around 2:30 afternoon. Yeah, actually, it's written on the slide. 2:30 afternoon in the same room. It's accessible by design. How on-the-spot accessibility checking transform course creation in Moodle. So I'm going to continue to showcase that premium feature. But more important, I'm going to give you an introduction about accessibility and why it's important to care about accessibility when you create content inside Moodle. But not just Moodle as a platform. The content creation, it's important to care about accessibility, especially because there is laws right now, but like also just to be a good citizen. But if you do not know that much about accessibility, I'm not an expert, but it is a passion of mine, and tomorrow I'm going to talk about accessibility, kind of like having an introduction about this. What about this one, this feature? Yeah? Sorry? Say that again? Copy paste. Table. Who said table first? Yeah, so it's advanced table, which is called NN table now on TinyMCE, but on Moodle it's called advanced table. So what is advanced table? So if I go back here, my course, go to the first course, and actually I had a page for advanced table and stable. So I have a table here, and you can create table in TinyMCE, the core edition, but there is some other feature that you may need. As an example, let's say that I want to order the data in my table by assessment 1. So what I can do here, I can go in table, sort, and sort table by column ascending. So it's gonna define like sort my data based on where my cursor was in the table. And there is another option, like if I want to, now I have the student ID, so maybe it's not the best example, but I can go in here and I can say like, I want row numbering and add the number to my table. So those are adding some small features to the table that you already have in Moodle, but they give you some advanced feature if you want to do a little more with the table content. So perfect if you have to show a lot of data in your course. You know, a table, it's always a great way to present that kind of data, and you have a little more feature with that plugin. What about this one? Someone, what? Template? No. Emoji was a good thing. It's advanced typography. And this one is a little bit out of my reach, if I want to be honest. So if I go here, advanced typography, this one will, sorry about that, will replace common typewriter style characters with professional typesetter equivalent. So you may or may not care about that. Like, I still consider myself a content creator based on what I do, but I personally do not care about that, if I want to be honest. But in some places, you're going to have content guideline, and it's going to be really important. So that's going to replace things like open hyphen with a hem dash, which may be tricky right now because of AI. Like, it's like, oh yeah, if there is M dash, it's AI content, which sucks because we don't have M dash in French, and I love to use it in English. Or maybe we have it, but I don't use it. But I love to use it in English, and now everybody thinks that my content was created by AI. But anyway, teardrop apostrophe with opening and closing quote mark. So again, that may not make a big difference for you, but some places they have content guideline, and it's really strict. Specifically, I've seen that at university or government. They have some strict rules about like the typography you're going to use. So here, if I make that full screen again, and I select the text here, and I go with my little typography here, you're going to see some small changes that I just mentioned. So this one doesn't have the wow factor that I wanted to showcase, but it may be important if you're creating content and you have like those strict guidelines, because you try to enforce that with the people creating the courses. If you've been there, you know that it's not always working. You try to enforce style guide, it does not always end up with exactly what you want in your content. If I go to the next one, this one is super tricky. If you get it, you get 2 t-shirts, a hug, and a French kiss. Hey, you want to try now? No, maybe you're afraid because of my voice. So this one is case change. This one is, it's interesting in some cases. No? Okay. It's interesting in some cases because it just helps you. I think that plugin was made specifically for someone like me who's a little bit lazy. Sometimes I'm going to copy, paste text from the internet that's going to be all in caps, and I'm just lazy. I don't want to rewrite it. So I'm going to have like the case content here, and if I select here and I go, actually, if I select, let's say, here the text, sorry, I go here, and I can either put it in all uppercase, put it in title case, which could be nice for all your headers. I know in French, like we don't do that, like my header is like just the first letter is gonna be capital, but when you write headers in English, you have to have like that style, which is not something that I do automatically. I do it now after a couple of years to write in English, but those are just like, it's a small feature that can be useful if you have to work with a lot of external content and the formatting is not exactly what you want to do. What about this one? Checklist. Oh yeah, whoa. No, that's not checklist. Yeah, that's checklist. So Yeah, no, this one. Yeah, this one was probably one of the easiest one. So again, when you're creating your content, so you have the opportunity here to have like bullet point, numbered list, but also insert a checklist. So here, to do 1, to do 2. That can be great, you know, if you're creating content with someone else and you just want to take notes in your course, like, hey, I need to finish that, I need to add that, I need to fix that. So you have now also an option to add some checklists in your content. One thing I need to check, though, with the Moodle team is that I was expecting that once I save that, you're going to see checklist in your content, but now you see bullet points. So I think there is maybe a little bug to fix with this one, but it's just to let you know it's there, it exists. That's another premium feature that we have. What about this one? Image editing. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So enhance image editing, which is what is called inside Moodle. If you go on the Tiny website, we rename it to image editing. And this one's going to give you some feature to do image editing. Yeah, I was a little bit afraid. Like, are you listening to the talk? Yeah. Am I boring you? No. So here what I'm going to do. I'm going to add an image. And let's say this one. It's the screenshot of me being, whoa, super happy. I think I was still sick. It was last week. I was in a meeting, and I was like, I don't want to be in that meeting. I just want to be in my bed and, like, die a little bit. So here, there is my cat on the back, here with my cat. And my cat was also not happy about that meeting because usually we have a rule. Before I start my day of work, before my first meeting, I need to give the food to the cat. Guess what happened now? I didn't do it. He was not happy. You can see it in the back. He's looking at me. And I had a 50% chance of being here with you today or like just die in my sleep because my cat wanted to kill me. But that's a screenshot from Zoom. So what I can do, I can select the image here, go and edit image, and I'm going to have some like fundamental features that you need when you want to edit the image. So this one, I can crop the image and, you know, remove the part that is like specific to Zoom. If I want, I can just like, you know, focus on my cat. Actually, focus on my cat here and say, yeah, that image is just like Tails, which is the name. We was pissed off, and what I can do here, I can like do things that won't make sense for that image, but you know, here I change the contrast, and I can do some modification in changing the RGB, so the color ratio, and I can do a lot of things, save that, and that is an ugly picture right now. My cat is more beautiful than that, but you get the point. So the idea is to be able to concentrate on your course creation. So staying in TinyMCE instead of like having to, like, I don't know, even buy for Photoshop or use even open source like GIMP and having to go outside of the software to do small modifications that do not require you to be an expert. So I'm not a designer, but I can use those tools. Those are the tools that we have on Instagram, on Facebook. Those are the tools that you know, and you can do that directly within TinyMCE. What about this one? This one's going to be tricky.
Export?
No, yeah, actually, that's export. Yeah, I wasn't sure anymore myself. Yeah, okay, you need to stop playing though. So this one was export. Can you guess, like, you know, those containers that we ship and we export? No? Yeah? No? I'm sitting between you and drinks, huh? This is what I understand right now. Okay, this is the thing. So export, I won't take the time to demo. It's real basic. Basically, you have your TinyMCE content, and actually, I have the export function, so I'm going to be able to export that content in PDF. So if I want to export, I can export the content in PDF. Obviously, you probably want your people to stay in Moodle for your course creation, but I know there's a lot of people that still like to, like, they create some course, and they want to review the course, they want to do some correction, and there are still a lot of people that print those things and do this on paper. And I'm not judging you. I still have a printer at home, but there are some people, and maybe that's a way. Or you want to share that with someone who doesn't have access to the course, so you have the export PDF function here that lets you do that. Next one. That was the easiest one. So what? Footnotes. I'm so mad at you right now. That was the easiest one of all, I think. Okay, maybe. Again, I created those slides. I was dying a little bit, so maybe that was super clear in my mind. Maybe it's not the case today. So with footnote, do I need to explain? Oh my God, I'm starting to answer French word. Do I need to explain footnote? But I'm still going to show you footnote because I think it's interesting what it does. So let me just add more content here. It's lowering up some, but with cat stuff. Because if you did not notice, I like cats. So I'm going to have more content here, and I'm going to go here. And what I can do, I can add insert footnote there. I can always go. There is most of the time there is a menu also if you prefer to go that. And I'm going to add like footnote 1. I don't know how to type, and I can add like a second one here. I'm sweating my life here. Footnote there, and if I go. I remove the full screen, I save that, and display the course. So what is interesting, maybe it's too small, but what is interesting here is that this also linked. So if I click on 1, I go to footnote 1. If I click here, and I want to go back to footnote 1, but in the text, that's going to follow up, where is my footnote? So that's really amazing. Like, I love footnote. Maybe I overuse footnote. I published a book many years ago, and my editor removed so many footnotes that I have. Actually, that was like the page of the book was like that, and I have this content and this footnote. So the editor was like, Fred, I know you like that, but please stop a little bit. But it's still great, you know, when you want to like share where that information comes from. You want to point to the third-party website. You want to add more information that may not be directly related to the course. You have access. Anyway, you know what are footnotes. You have access to those if you need them. I told you we're running together. What is this one? Paint, yeah, Format Painter, which is the premium feature. This one is perfect for people a little bit lazy like me. So let me go back to full screen again here. And let's say that I put those in black. This one I know in Moodle, by default, you don't have any like option to change the color or change the font. So this one's gonna make more sense if you put like bold, italic, headers. And what I'm gonna do, let's say that I want to have a part of the content that's gonna be the same format as this one. So I can just go use the little paint here, icon, Format Painter, select it where my cursor is, and after that, I can just repaint part of the content. So this one, as I said, maybe in Moodle, it makes a little less sense because you don't have access to all the feature that TinyMCE has, like the Moodle integration. They activated some part of like the font, the possibility to change the font or change the color, but it's still an option that you have right there that could be useful or not for you. What about this one? Link? Yeah, close enough. Link checker. So don't forget, if you have the right one, you can come talk to me tomorrow, and I'm going to give you a free T-shirt. Tomorrow morning, though, because I think we're slowly running low on T-shirt. So link checker, I like this one also. That's a plugin that you don't have to run yourself. It's running automatically. So here, let's say that I had a link. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I had a link here to, actually, TinyMCE. HTTPS, tiny.cloud, and I had a link. This one is working well, it's a link, it's functional, it's our website, and if I go here and I'm like, hey, you know what, I want to add another link here, but I make a mistake and I type tiny.cloud. So when I'm gonna create my link, once I move away from that link, and I don't know if you see, I'm gonna have a little red background on the link, and that's basically telling me, Fred, it's not a valid link. And that is great because maybe you're a little bit like me, a little bit OCPD, and once you review your content, you click on everything, you test everything. Good for you. But most people don't do that. And there's nothing more frustrating than like when I'm consuming some content on the web, a course and anything, and I try to click on a link and the link is not working, it's 404, it's not the right link, it's not the place where I wanted to. My God, Brett is like, he works with me. You see the kind of people I work with? This guy is falling asleep during my talk. So the link checker here will tell you when there is an issue with your links. So it's just another great goodies that helps you to ensure that your content is going to be the quality of the content that you want. What about this one? So what? Page embed. So yeah, that was close enough. I'm gonna give you a free T-shirt for that. So there is an opportunity for you to embed a web page inside your content. So if I go here, I have embed high frame, and I can, let's say I'm gonna embed my website. One thing I can give it larger width. One thing that is important most of the time is to enable the scroll bar. It's not done by default. And if you don't do it, people will have like a fixed viewport and won't be able to really navigate the web page. So here, if I save that, I could have made it a little bit larger, but it is my website, and yes, my website is ugly, it's just like basic black and white. But I'm gonna be able to navigate it, I'm gonna be able to check the latest article that I share about my manager reading me and stuff that I wrote about that. So that could be great if you want to include, embed some kind of like third-party content within your course. And it's the same thing if I save that. So let me move to the full screen. And I save and display, you're gonna see here, now it's not the best, I could have like chosen a better size. There is a way for you to make it responsive, but here I am able to embed a web page inside my TinyMCE editor, so that's another plugin that could be useful to help you create amazing content within Moodle. Let me delete that. What about this one? What? It's permanent pen. You know what? I forgot to tell you. So I'm new about Moodle. I'm new at TinyMCE. I joined about 2 months ago. So I'm new with Moodle because Moodle were a partner, so it's new for me. I'm new with MoodleMoot. This is my first conference. I'm new as a speaker at MoodleMoot. This is the first time. This is my first time in Scotland. And now I don't know if I want to come back to MoodleMoot because people are like, oh, that's a joke. That's a joke. So permanent pen, again, because you don't have maybe as much flexibility in Moodle in terms of like changing the color and anything. If you want to, obviously you can make some text bold, you can make some text italic, but like if you really want to have something that is like, you're correcting something, let's say you create content with someone else, you can use the permanent marker here, and if I click there, basically I create new content. That's gonna give you like, my God, I don't know how to write. That's gonna give you some red content that's gonna be a little more in your face right now. So that's called the permanent pen. Again, those features are a mix of features, so individually they may not make all sense, but like the mix and match of those may make sense for you. But I love the permanent pen because it's really like in your face type of content, so that can be useful again for you. This is one of the features I like the most, a premium feature that is the more, that have the biggest wow factor for me. So what about this one? Paste, yes. But it's even better than paste. PowerPaste. Yes. Say it with me. PowerPaste. Oh, come on. Damn, you're hard public. So PowerPaste is one of the features I like the most. And to show you the demo, I'm just going to go outside of Moodle to show you without and with PowerPaste because I activated PowerPaste inside of Moodle. But basically, it will probably happen. I was talking with someone today that struggled to have the people create the courses, to create the courses inside Moodle. People will create the courses everywhere, and after that, it's basically your job to try to put the content in Moodle, and you're stuck with a lot of like issue with formatting, and you're losing a lot of formatting that was done probably in Word or Google Doc or any other type of document. So here, with PowerPaste, if I check that Word document or that Google Doc document, it's just an annual report. So here, if I select that content, actually someone else on my team is on the file and selected the content, but it's not all selected, it's just someone else. So if I select that, I have a table with a little bit of color here. If I try to paste that content without PowerPaste, I'm still going to have some kind of like, interesting content, but I'm missing like the space between the bullet points or the list. I'm missing, the title of the table had like nice color. I'm missing those headers, and this is not exactly the same font. But if I try to paste that content with PowerPaste? No, okay. I had to try one last time. If I try to paste it, PowerPaste will ask me, like, do you want to remove the formatting? If I do, I get the same result as the left. But if I don't want to remove the formatting and I want to keep the formatting, you're going to see that like it's 99.9% the same content that I had in my Google Doc. So the spacing is the same. I have like the color in the header. I have exactly, or like just to be safe, 99.9% the same content that I had in my Google Doc. So if I do that here right now, and I paste the same content because PowerPaste is activated, I keep the formatting, and I'm gonna have the same content that I had in that other example. So basically, that's one of the features that I love because, again, content creator, sometimes it's hard to make them use the tools that you want them to use, and they're going to continue to use the tool that they use, the tool that they like, the tool that they use for a while. So it can be, as I said, Google Docs, but often it's going to be a Word document. And if you had in your life, at least once, trying to paste content from a Word document to somewhere else, you probably cry a lot, put the shower on, put yourself in fetus position, and start to cry under hot water. Because that was a pain to do. It's not fun to do. Sorry? I didn't hear you. If it's keeping the metadata? Oh, it is. Yep. So that's one of the premium features that I like the most. That is probably the closest to what a lot of people in the room may need. What about this one? Spell checker. This one was a little bit far-fetched, but wait for the next one. This one is like, when you do a mistake, maybe it's because I'm the oldest in the room, but like in my time, we used to use pencil to write stuff and use an eraser to erase when we were making mistakes. So we have a spell checker inside TinyMCE, which is pretty useful. You may be way better in English than me. I mean, English is my second language. French is my first one. So even if I consider myself bilingual, I make mistakes. So you can see in that example, I have some, this one, Meowser, or I think I had out of place now. Russian here. And if I go here and I click, I'm going to have some suggestion, which make more sense is going to be Russian, so I didn't have like a capital here. But if I go in the tool, I can activate or deactivate the spell check. We support a couple of languages. Unfortunately, not all languages so far, but we try to support and with all respect for people not speaking those languages, but like the most popular language that people requested, so you can change the language. This one was in English, but that's perfect as an example for someone like me who needs to create content in English, but it's not my first language, so I do some mistake when I write that content. So there is a spell checker. It's another premium feature, but what about this one? Yeah, there is no chance. I thought it was brilliant in my head, but when I review my slide, I was like, no way. But I'm keeping it because I'm really proud of this one. And bear with me. It's spelling autocorrect. And why there is a B? Oh, some people understood? Spelling bee. Yeah. That thing that the kids do. I don't know. I think it's just kids. Like they do the spelling bee thing and they need to like spell a like complicated word. But when you spell it and you're wrong, the judge tells you that you're wrong right away. So it's automatically correcting your spelling. Thank you. Okay. At least one person in the room of like 200 people were like, good job, Fred. So spelling autocorrect is another feature that, again, you can activate or not. So here, if I go back, and I create some content here, that's gonna give me the opportunity to correct basically two things, like autocorrect, but also capitalize the word if I do it. So it's not activated by default, but now I just activated it. So here, if I say like I'm still using permanent pen. Well, anyway, it's gonna be nice red. So if I say the car is not there. I don't know if it's going to fix this one. Yeah, okay, this one is a little bit too much, but it's not red. You've seen that, like, I misspelled is, and he fixed it for me. I didn't capitalize the T for T-H-E. He capitalized it for me. So those are small corrections that can or cannot be useful for you, but you have the spell checkers. You can do it manually, or you can have it done automatically for you. What about this one? This one's going to be tricky. Table of content. Yeah, no, this one was tricky. There is no table of content, and this is what the premium feature will do for you. It's going to add a table of content for you. So, yeah, that was a little bit pushed a little bit to its limit. Not as good as like the spelling bee, but still good enough. So if I go here, I have a little bit more content, a couple of headers, and you know, if you start to have a lot of content, you probably want a table of content inside your page, even if it's just one page. So if I go back here and maximize it again, so here I have my content. I don't have any table of content, so what I can do, I can go in insert a table of content, and I've got to do it for me. So I like that, and the thing also is that it's not going to update the table of content automatically for me, but there is a way for me to do it as, again, a lazy person. So if I had a new header here, blah, 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 and if I go here, there's that little arrow here that is update the table of content. And if I update it, the new header is going to be there. So again, it's nice because everything is linked now with Anchor to the proper headers in your content, and you didn't have to do it yourself. So all those little things, they add up. So you reach a point where you have all those features to really try to create your content a little bit faster and easier. So now, with the time I have left, so I went through all the features or premium features that we have right now within TinyMCE. Now what I want to do with some of the time I have left is talk to you a little bit about the future. But, you know, I'm not someone who can see in the future, so what I'm going to do with you, I'm going to share with you some of the premium features that we have in TinyMCE with the hope that soon enough they're also going to be part of Moodle. So what you need to understand is that there's TinyMCE that we own the product that we're building, and we implement new feature, and we had new plugin, and new premium feature, and we update the core. But there is also the Moodle team that is responsible to integrate TinyMCE within Moodle. So sometimes there is a delay, and it just makes sense. I'm not saying they're not doing a great job. Actually, they're doing an amazing job. But it just makes sense that sometimes, while we release something on TinyMCE, it may not be available on Moodle yet, but we work closely with the Moodle team to be sure that we are able to implement those features in the core of Moodle to give them, to make them accessible to most of the people as soon as possible. And from what I understood is that the latest changes in Moodle and the integration with TinyMCE that was done recently were so good that, like, in the future, it's going to be even faster to implement new TinyMCE feature within the Moodle platform. So the first one that I want to talk about, do you have any idea what it is? AI, of course. Are you tired of listening about AI stuff? Yes? Or are you excited about AI? Yeah? Are you sleeping right now? Yeah? So it's the AI assistant. And you know, we're in 2025, we need some AI feature, and I firmly believe that it can be useful. Maybe not about recreating all your content, but that can be helpful to do some stuff within your content. So because it's not part of Moodle, I'm going to go outside of Moodle to show you some of those features. You can try them. All the premium features, actually important, all the premium features that I've shown you before and the one I'm going to show you right now, the one that I show you before, you can get a free trial. You can try it for 14 days. You don't have to have a credit card, so you can see if they make sense for you, see if it makes sense for you to go with a premium package for TinyMCE. If you don't want to do that, go in our documentation. Go in under documentation, look for the plugin you want to try. There is always a live demo about that plugin. So maybe you cannot do everything you wanted to do within your test environment, but still, that will give you an opportunity to test your platform, test the plugin, and be sure, does it make sense for me or not? Because at the end of the day, it's really about using the tool that will help you to improve your content creation, that will give you the little edge to people creating the content within your Moodle ecosystem. So here, I still have my cat lorem ipsum, and what I can do here, I have two options with the AI assistant. So I have predefined prompt here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. So I have predefined prompt where I can be like summarize content, improve the writing, simplify the languages. There is like different and like specific prompt. It's just like that we see that most people are using when they are in the rich text editor, things that they want to do, things that most people want to do. But if you're like me, you don't want like, no, I don't want to use that. I'm going to use my own prompt. So here, I can be like, hey, make it shorter. And you see what's going to happen. The AI assistant is going to propose me something that is way shorter, that still really talk about cats. Longing for a tuna brine, leave gift, not kidding around, hiss at vacuum, refuse to leave box, stop looking at phone, and I can decide to insert or try again. I say make it even shorter. And I can try again and see where it's going to go. And now it's way, way shorter and still talk a lot about cat, and I can insert that. So it's a tool that we introduced not long ago. It's an AI assistant, so you can use it as you want. It's also, right now, it's bring your own AI, so you can plug it with an OpenAI, ChatGPT, Azure AI, Google Gemini. So we have some implementation. You can choose the one you want, but it's only the V1. So what I can tell you right now is that we're working to continue to improve the AI system, and that's going to be one of the things we're going to launch at some point. I don't have any ETA right now, but I know the engineering team. I was with them at an offsite in Poland not long ago, and that was the main topic about how to improve our AI assistant. After that, you're the judge of like, does it make sense for me to use it or not? Does it make sense for me to use it to improve my content or create some content? But the tool is there. We live in a world of AI. We had to have that tool, and I think it's doing a pretty fantastic job because, again, the goal is like, yeah, I could copy-paste my content, go in ChatGPT, and do the modification, but I'm leaving my content creation page. So the goal is like, let's try to be like I'm in the moment, I'm creating my content. Let's try to stick in my environment where I'm creating my content. So that's one of the tools that we have. That is part of TinyMCE, not part of Moodle yet. Hopefully, in a future release, that's going to be part of Moodle also. So you're going to have access to it. But I know there's other plugins and other tools, but that's going to be one more choice for you. That will be a premium feature. Now I want to talk about some also other premium features that are part of TinyMCE that are focused on collaboration. So here, if you're creating, curriculum, courses, content within Moodle, most of the time, it's not the job of only one person. Like, it's the job of a whole team. Either multiple people are creating content, or like at TinyMCE, when I create content, I'm writing my blog post, and there is like the technical writer who is reviewing my stuff and checking that my code is working well, and there is like the big content boss, I forgot her title down, that is reviewing like to be sure that the English is perfect based on her guideline, because again, English is not my first language, so I basically write like I talk, so she's reviewing that stuff. So there is a lot of back and forth in terms of like how we work together. So the first premium feature, what would that be? Comments. Someone said comments? So that would be comments. So if I go here and I'm creating content with someone, sorry about that, I can leave some comment within the content. So instead of like sending an email, instead of like adding a notation on a PDF or stuff like that, I can just go in the content here, and I can say to like James and like, hey, what do you think about this? And Maya was like, I think it's a great idea. And me, I'm gonna be negative, and I think not. I think it's not a good thing. So I'm going to save that. And now I'm James. So James is saying, like, I don't think it's a great idea. And you can continue to add comment. You can also decide that, like, hey, you know, that comment, I delete the conversation. Or, you know, someone might have said, like, please revise the sentence. Exclamation point are unprofessional. We need to let go, Maya. I don't think it makes sense at all. So, no, let's use exclamation point. So I'm going to just resolve that conversation, say it's resolved. And I'm not able to resolve the conversation, but usually you will be able to do that depending on your permission on that page. And this is one way to, you know, work together. Another feature, what about this one? It's before last one. After that, I'm done talking, mostly done talking. You're not even close. It's revision history. Yeah, we're not that far. Yeah. We're not that far. It's revision history, which is also one of the features that I like the most that we have. It's a personal choice because, again, most of the time when you create content, you're not the only person creating content. There's some revision. And right now, without the revision history premium feature, it's not possible for you to see what happened to the content. So here, I have a little, like, you know, backward clock. If I click on it, I'm going to be able to see the big changes. This one is not a great example. It's just change one logo to the other. But in this one, you know, someone decided to move from a number list to a bullet point, so I can decide even to restore that version. So I have the history about who did what in my content, which is something that I want to know, but I can also decide to restore that version. And now I'm back to the bullet point instead of the number list. So again, a feature that is not part of Moodle. I'm just teasing you a little bit because those are features that I like. They're really part of, like, what I call the collaboration suite that we have right now at Tiny, which brings me to the last plugin or feature that I want to talk to you about. This one, it's not going to be easy. Suggested edits. So this one kind of like complete the working together on a document on content. This one is newer than new, meaning that we just released it with TinyMCE version 8 that we released about a month and a half ago at a latest. So suggested edit is exactly what it means. It means that yes, I can have comments to the content, I can see the revision history, but now I can also directly participate in suggesting change in the content. So I have that icon here, review edits. If I click here, I'm going to be able to see that Alex Thompson, what did Alex Thompson did? He had the word interactive here, so I can decide to accept it and complete the review, and now interactive is part of my content. But if I go back here, I can decide to, Alex, again, is troublemaker, decided to, replace by typing in the editor and blah, 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 by type in the editor, apply formatting, or delete some content. James thought it was a good idea. Maybe it was not a good idea, so I decided to reject that, complete the review, and now it's not part of my content anymore. So that's kind of like the trio of plugins that are specific about collaborating. So I can add comments, so I can just add comments, just saying like, hey, have you really thought about that? Does it make sense or not what you're writing here? So I don't really have a suggestion, but I like to complain, so that's a good mechanism for me to just say like, hey, are you sure this is what you want to put in your content? Are you sure this is true what you wrote there? But I don't really have like something to propose, but I can also propose stuff with suggested it. So you may have seen those features if you use Google Doc, if you use Word, they're similar. So really I can suggest change, remove stuff in the content, add stuff in the content. And obviously you can already do that with TinyMCE. But the difference now is that there is some kind of level of approbation. So someone can decide, like if I'm the one who wrote the content and the technical writer at work makes suggestions, I don't want them to change my content without me having my word and say like, hey, does it make sense or not? So suggested edit, give me the opportunity to do that within the TinyMCE ecosystem. So again, unfortunately, it's not a premium feature that is available yet in Moodle, but the goal is to in a future version, work closely with the Moodle team to be sure that we're also going to have those premium features available in the Moodle ecosystem. So, I know this one is bad. It's like I was looking for an image about like a explode brain, like, oh my God, so many nice features. And hopefully, at least, maybe not all features were super exciting for you, but some of them were like, hey, that could really help me, or that could really help my people to be more productive, to create better content, to work together in a better fashion. So those are all the premium features that are available for you. As I said, hopefully some of them connected a little more with you in your work day to day. What you can do right now, and I'm repeating myself because that's important, those features, you can activate them in Moodle, but you need a TinyMCE API key. So what you do, you go on tiny.cloud, TinyMCE website, you create an account, you have a free trial for 14 days, you're gonna get access to all those features that I've shown. You don't have to put a credit card, so you have the API key within Moodle. You need to activate which features that you want in Moodle. So by default, I think they're all deactivated even after you had your API key. But once you had your API key, you had the opportunity to activate them. So once you activate those plugins or the one you want, you can try them. You don't have to do that also. You can try them within the documentation. So you have access to all those premium features in the documentation. So obviously that won't be inside of Moodle, but still you're gonna be able to try them if you want to. After that, if you're like, hey, you know, Fred, that may or may not make sense, or some premium feature makes sense for us, you can either go with self-serving, which is like a SaaS and like any other software as a service platform where you have your account, you have your credit card, and you choose the tier that you want to be part of. But since most of you use Moodle in places when there is a lot of editor loads, when you have a lot of users, what I suggest you is two things. Either if you don't want to talk about this right now, you just go back home and at some point you schedule some time with our sales team, or we have Quadjo that is at our TinyMCE booth. So we have a booth really like in the cave of that conference center, like with all the other booths. We have one there, TinyMCE. I'm here with 3 colleagues, but one of them, Quadjo, is part of the sales team. His goal is not to force you to buy stuff, but he's going to be the best person to have a discussion about your specific use case. What are the premium features that you think make sense for you? How many places you're using TinyMCE, because some of you have more than one Moodle instance. How many maybe students you have? How many people are part of like the teaching group at your university? And based on that, our goal is to try to find a win-win situation in terms of like, what are the plugins that you want? What are the features that you want? And what makes sense in terms of pricing? Because as I said, unfortunately, those are premium features, so they come at a cost. But don't take the time actually to talk to Quadjo tomorrow or the last day of the conference if there is features that are interesting for you. And it's going to be able to really go case by case with you and see where it makes sense or where it does not make sense. So I'm nearly at the end of the conference. What about that beautiful cat? Unfortunately, that cat is not with me anymore, but I still use the picture because nobody remembered me, but everybody remembered the guy with the cap in his slides. So that is me. My name is Fred. I'm really happy to be here. I'm super happy that I kept my voice for the full hour. I was a little bit afraid of that. But if you have any question, I think we may have a minute or two. But just before that, let me know. You may have a question right now. But if you're not comfortable to ask your question in front of everybody, feel free to talk to me after here. We're going to have there's another event right after with some drinks and a gala, I think. I'm going to be there. Come talk to me. Come talk to me tomorrow. Maybe not the third day. I may not have voice anymore on the third days. Maybe that's going to be good for you. You're not going to be stuck with me talking too much. But you can also always send me an email. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on Twitter. Ask me questions in the future. But not just about the premium feature, because I'm a developer advocate. I'm not a salesperson. Obviously, today I talk about a lot of premium features because this is what people want to know, because this is what people are excited about, and a lot of people came to the booth and were curious about, so what does it mean about the premium? So this is why we gave that talk. But what I want to hear from you also It's all the good, the bad, and the ugly of TinyMCE within Moodle. If you have great experience, let me know. Always excited to know that we're doing great stuff. But if there are things that are working, that are not working as good as you want, let me know also. We're not the one responsible for the integration, but we work really closely with Moodle to be sure that you have a great experience with TinyMCE. So come talk to me, come talk to some of my colleagues about your experience with TinyMCE. I know for some of you it was a change to move from the previous WYSIWYG to TinyMCE, so you may or may not have a good experience. Hopefully, most of the feedback that I received since the beginning of the conference are positive, but let's be realist. It's software, it's a complex software. You may not go as well as you want, so let me know if you have those kind of feedback. And lastly, and after that, I assure you I'm shutting up, I offer also some free coffee chat if you don't have the chance to talk with me during the conference, because there's a busy schedule, there's a lot of talks to watch, and at the end of the day you're tired, you may go back at home, go back to the hotel. But if you go on fred.dev/coffee, I'm offering free coffee chat. It's basically 30 minutes on Zoom video call, no matter where you live. We can talk about TinyMCE, we can talk about Moodle, we can talk about cats, we can talk about coffee, meditation. We can just try to get to know each other, because there is nothing more important than the people you know in the network. So I'm also offering those. It's there, it's free for you. I'm not there again to sell anything. So on that note, thanks for your time. Hopefully you've seen some features that are interesting for you. Yeah, I'm not done talking. The guy was like, yeah. So any comment, question, insult? Or you just want to go for drinks? So keep in mind, I've been at Tiny for 2 months, so I may not have the answer, but if I don't have the answer, I will get back to you.
No worries. Thanks for that. Just a quick question regarding Moodle integration. So is there a way to limit the tool sets available per user in Moodle? So say I want the AI feature just for staff and not for students?
That's a good question that I don't have the answer for you. So do you know the answer, Brett? No. Okay. So what I would suggest you, just come talk to me after. I'm going to either take your contact or Kate on my team. She's the one responsible for the Moodle integration. She would know if it's possible or not. From what I've seen, I'm not sure. But if it's not, it's a good feature, though. So I think people are just tired. They want to go for drinks. So if you have any more questions, come talk to me after. Thanks again for your time. Have a wonderful rest of the conference.